Hey everyone, today I'll be reviewing the JX HV 2060 MG 60 kilogram high torque servo. I got this from Banggood and it arrived early, actually arrived in around 3 days. And as you can see here, it has a pretty nice metal casing. It comes with some plastic servo horns, which I thought were going to be pretty weak, but they were surprisingly strong. So here I'm going to start taking it apart. Um, I'm going to fast forward because I found out later that you have to unscrew the back for the front to come out too. So let's skip to that. Okay, so I started loosening the screws in the back. Um, it is a little bit difficult to turn, so it might help if you use a wrench or a pair of pliers like I did here. Um, and it makes it easier to turn the screw and also apply pressure at the same time. So I'm going to skip to when everything's unscrewed. Okay, so now I was able to get the back cover off, which was pretty straightforward. And now you can see the PCB and part of the motor. The solder joints actually look pretty decent. I was pretty impressed. And you can see the thickness of the motor casing. It's pretty good. It doesn't look like the motor is going to go anywhere anytime soon. Now I'm trying to remove the top part, which was another thing that I hadn't seen before. Basically, instead of having everything be in the same box, the gearbox was basically in a separate box, a separate like plastic casing, which was actually pretty nice because it keeps all the grease away from the electronics, and it keeps everything a bit cleaner. And you can see the potentiometer right there with the wires connected to it. And inside you can also see the how the motor is held in. It's pretty firmly in there. I wasn't able to push it out or anything. And you can see, as I said before, the thickness of the aluminum casing. It's pretty strong. So now I'm trying to take apart the gearbox casing so that I can actually look inside and see the gears. So as soon as you're able to wiggle one side free, it becomes pretty easy to stick something like a flathead screwdriver in there and kind of pry apart the rest of it. It doesn't take too much force or anything, so I'm trying not to break anything. And then once it's open, you can see all the metal gears. There's 4 gears. One of them is attached to the potentiometer, and the other one, and actually the same one, is also attached to the servo horn, or the teeth, I guess you could say, that protrude out of the case. You can see also the small ball bearing, if the camera just has to focus. Right there. Yeah, you can see the small ball bearing. It's looks like it's pretty high quality, although I think they could have possibly used a slightly bigger one, but it seemed to work fine in my tests. And you can also see the grease. I'm not sure what kind of grease this is, but it seems to do the job. And then on the bottom side, you can see the other 2 gears. You can also see that little metal pin that stops the servo from rotating more than 180 degrees. And here how to put it back together, although it's kind of tough to put it back together if you don't have all the gears on the same side. So I tried doing that here, but then I had to flip it over. It's nothing difficult if you know how to do it. Basically just flip over the gears all to one side, and then it's a bit easier to just kind of shift everything into place. You just push a couple of gears apart from each other, and the middle one falls in. And then you can see all the gears are still turning fine. The alignment's correct. and then you can just put the motor back into place and the top part of the casing. Everything fits in pretty smoothly, and then you can just attach the back again and it's good to go. Overall, I was pretty impressed by the quality of the servo, especially since it's only I got it for $47. I also was able to measure the torque, and I was only able to measure it at 6 volts. And although it is advertised to have about 48 kilogram centimeters of torque, I was only able to achieve about 37, which is about like 77% of the advertised torque. But still, I have to say, for the price, this is a pretty good deal. If it's 77% of the torque, even at 62, even at 7.4 volts, that's still around 50 kilogram centimeters, which is very impressive for $45. So I definitely recommend the servo. The quality is very good. It doesn't look like anything is in risk of breaking easily. Even the plastic servo horns, those are pretty strong. And the metal casing, as you saw earlier, it's pretty thick. Does the job well. The servo weighs about 200 grams, and it's as big as you see here. But yeah, it's a pretty good servo. I would definitely recommend it. If in the future you'd like to see more tests of the servo, I'm going to be making a test stand for servos and testing out the torque more accurately, as well as the temperature, current, voltage draw, and everything. So subscribe if you like this video, and thank you very much for watching.